Moving to the running back position, my number one pickup of the week, and certainly at the running back position, is Tank Bigsby, just 24% rostered, a guy I would bid 30%. If you need a running back, maybe even a little bit more aggressive here, you guys know how it works. Yeah, it sounds nice to say 10 to 20% of you. You're not going to get the guy. And I really think Tank Bigsby is one to go out and on a limb here and make sure you secure. We saw this guy out carry and out snap Travis Etienne here with a massive day. 13 carries, 101 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the ground, playing 47% of the snaps compared to 39% for Etienne. The first time we have seen Bigsby play more snaps. Ultimately, we did, of course, see Travis Etienne run more routes, 44%. 21% target share for Etienne as well, compared to just a 24% route share, minimal target share there for Bigsby. But 57% of the rushes, the greater carry share here, the greater snap share. Is the takeover already happening? He might deserve it here, Tank Bigsby. He's been right now the most explosive runner in the NFL, first in the NFL in runs over 20 miles per hour, 3 total, despite ranking just 44th in total carries. That is crazy percentage of explosive runs here. He right now ranks first in rush yards over expectation, does Tank Bigsby. He's third in PFF grades, and he's first in yards per carry in the entire NFL, compared to Travis Etienne, 18th in rush yards over expectation, 55th in PFF grades, and 27th in yards per carry. A far more efficient season here happening for Tank Bigsby. And it's one of those situations we kind of cite with Bucky Irving here that, yeah, he's got tons of outs. With Etienne, who's banged up with a shoulder injury, banged up with a groin thing. He's always got something going on. If he gets hurt, is knocked out, Bigsby's going to go to the moon. But even if not, there's a real world, we already just saw it, where Bigsby just creeps in and takes more running workload, more snap share than we get from Etienne. And it's happening right before our eyes, the most efficient runner right now in the NFL. Crazy to say that about a guy who was so abysmal his rookie season, but you got to just toss it out. All the training camp reports suggested this was happening, and it's right before our eyes. You got to act and believe it. Tank Bigsby, well worth that 30% plus, maybe even a number one waiver claim if you are very needy. The running back position, a lot of you, including myself, are. So definitely love me some Tank Bigsby this week. The question becomes, though, do you add him over Tyrone Tracy, who just had a massive game himself for the Giants? 129 yards on just 18 carries, a beautiful 7.2 yards per attempt, the 10th highest single game rushing total of the early season so far. Looking really impressive there. 4 of his carries went for 10 plus yards. 3 of those coming in the third quarter alone. As he said, he finally got into that NFL groove and felt like he had a rhythm. We just saw Tracy get better and better with the game, and not in the bowling ball way. He's just gliding through the line, hitting the hole hard, 15 plus mile per hour on 7 of his 30 rush attempts so far this season, compared to Singletary, 56 carries and just 15 plus mile per hour ones. So a much more efficient rate of explosive runs here for Tyrone Tracy. He played 62% of the snaps, 58% of the rushes, 41% of the routes, a very, very healthy workload without Singletary in there. And there are some warts here, and that's why I do think I lean Bigsby, the number one pickup. Let's cover him real quick. Eric Gray started, but ultimately he fumbled that day away. It looked like he was going to be off to the races there, Eric Gray. Ultimately getting to the 99-yard line, 1 yard to go, and they get a 100-yard fumble because of Eric Gray, and we really don't see much of him. We see the post-game comment saying they can't trust Eric Gray moving forward here. So if Singletary is going to miss time, I'm not worried about the fact that Eric Gray started. What about the fact that Tyrone Tracy's second to last in missed tackles forced among running backs with 30-plus carries? Not what you want to see, but then you also look at a college running back, a converted wide receiver nonetheless. In 2023 at Purdue, 4th in all of college football in forced missed tackles, and broke a tackle on 43 of his 114 carries. So it's not like it's impossible for the guy. It's definitely in his bag. We've seen him do it before. No goal line carries. I think the guy can get it done. In fact, he's played more goal line snaps than Devin Singletary on the year as the bigger body here. So I imagine we're going to see Tyrone Tracy force his way into a committee, into a timeshare, and he's looked. That one game was pretty Singletary's had some nice efforts. No, get me wrong. We know Brian Daboll trusts this guy in every single facet of the game in Devin Singletary. But Tyrone Tracy definitely brings a little bit more lightning to this backfield, and I would not be shocked to see him become a 8 to 15-ish touch guy every single week. I do prefer Bigsby, again, my number one pickup of the week and my number one running back correspondingly too. But Tyrone Tracy, my second highest waiver wire pickup of the week, a great option nonetheless. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.